Imagine stepping outside one sunny afternoon, just hoping to check on your peaceful backyard garden, only to find a bunch of strangers lounging in your private space, sipping smoothies and soaking their feet like they've booked a luxury retreat. Yep, that actually happened. And the best part? It was all planned by the HOA president herself, aka the self-proclaimed queen of the neighborhood, who didn't even bother to ask. She turned my yard into her personal spa zone without permission, acting like it was some kind of shared community space. But what she didn't know was that my peaceful garden isn't just for growing herbs and veggies, it's also where I breed skunks. Yep, you heard that right. Now, I'm not someone who enjoys drama, but when someone crosses the line this boldly, you can't just stay quiet. I breed skunks as part of a licensed wildlife rescue project, and trust me, they're adorable. But they're not the kind of guests you want at your cucumber eye mask session. I tried to warn her gently, but she wasn't hearing it. She thought I was bluffing. And well, let's just say nature had a funny way of setting boundaries that day. Want to know what happened when the spa day turned into a total skunk-scented disaster? You're definitely gonna want to stick around for this one. So here's how we got to this wild moment. Our neighborhood's run by a pretty intense HOA, and leading the charge is Linda, though most people around here just call her Karen behind closed doors. She's the kind of person who sends you warning letters if your grass gets half an inch too long, or if your trash cans stay out for more than an hour. Real power trip vibes. But the thing is, she's always had this weird obsession with my backyard. Probably because it's actually taken care of, green, peaceful, and kind of a hidden gem compared to the cookie-cutter lawns in the area. Now, I've lived here a while, and I mostly keep to myself. I work from home, I garden, and yeah, I help rescue and rehabilitate skunks. It's not everyone's thing, but it's something I love, and it's all perfectly legal and cleared with animal control. I even built a little fenced-off area at the back where they can roam safely. So imagine my shock when I came home early one Saturday and saw tiki torches folding chairs and even a massage table set up right in the middle of my yard. People I'd never seen before were walking barefoot around the garden, sipping spa water and chatting like it was a yoga retreat. And Linda, she was in a row, acting like she owned the place. I stood there for a second, trying to process what I was looking at. My garden, my space was now some kind of unauthorized wellness retreat, and not a single person looked confused about being there. They acted like this was normal, like they had every right. When I finally stepped onto the grass and called out, "What's going on here?" A few people looked startled, but Linda, she barely blinked, just waved her hand and said, "Oh, you weren't supposed to be home until later. Don't worry, we'll be gone by sunset." I was stunned. No text, no email, not even a sticky note on my door. She had just taken over. I asked her what made her think she could use my property without permission. She smiled like I was the one being unreasonable and said, "We figured it wouldn't be a big deal. No one really uses this space." That's when it hit me. She thought because I kept to myself, she could push boundaries and I'd just roll over. But there was more going on. One of her friends slipped up and mentioned how they'd been planning this garden spa pop-up for weeks. Apparently, they'd scoped out my yard more than once, even discussing how natural and relaxing the environment was. They saw my peaceful garden and decided it was free real estate. What they didn't realize was, their idea of a luxury spa retreat was about to meet the very real scent of nature, and it wouldn't be from lavender oil. At that point, I was doing everything I could not to lose it. My heart was racing, and I could feel that tight, hot kind of anger building in my chest. But I stayed calm. I figured if Linda wanted to play entitled, then she could deal with the natural consequences of crossing the wrong property line. I didn't have to shout or call the cops. Nature was already doing the slow countdown in the background. See, what nobody at this surprise spa party seemed to notice was the faint, musky scent in the air. Most people wouldn't catch it at first, but I knew it well. It meant the skunks, who were usually curled up quietly in their shaded area, had picked up on the noise, the strange voices, and all the unfamiliar perfume floating around. One of the younger ones had already started pacing by the enclosure fence. Nervous, skittish, a few more loud laughs or sudden movements, and I knew we were 1 foot away from a real-life stink bomb. I tried giving Linda one last warning. I calmly told her, "You need to wrap this up. You're putting everyone here at risk." She rolled her eyes, muttered something about how I was always so dramatic, and went right back to sipping her lemon cucumber water like she was at a resort. Meanwhile, one of the guests, some guy in flip-flops, wandered too close to the back fence. He leaned over, probably trying to get a better look at the cute little animals he'd spotted moving behind the bushes. That's when I knew it. Things were about to go sideways and fast. The guy in flip-flops leaned in even closer, trying to snap a photo on his phone, probably thinking he was about to impress his Instagram followers with some nature vibes. But what he didn't know was that one of the older skunks, named Momo, does not like surprises, and especially doesn't like strangers poking around near her den. I stepped forward fast, trying to call out a warning, but I was too late. Momo reared up, tail lifting, classic sign she felt threatened. But just before anything could happen, Linda yelled, "Hey, get away from there. You're going to scare the animals." Like I hadn't just spent the last 10 minutes trying to say exactly that. The guy jumped back, spooked, and knocked over a folding chair into the garden bed, smashing a few of my tomato plants in the process. The noise? Loud enough to set every skunk in the enclosure on high alert. But just when I thought things couldn't spiral further, there was another twist. One of the spa guests, a woman who'd clearly had enough zen for the day, suddenly started freaking out, waving her arms and shouting that she was allergic to animals. Severely allergic she hadn't realized there were real live animals on the property until she saw the skunks moving. And now she was yelling at me, at Linda, at everyone, demanding someone fix this immediately before she broke out in hives or worse. That's when I noticed a couple more guests backing away nervously, clearly realizing that this was not the relaxing garden day they'd signed up for. The energy flipped from luxury escape to full-on panic in seconds. And all the while, Linda just stood there, frozen, robe half open, drink still in hand, watching the situation she created go up in smoke, or something much, much smellier. Everything hit the fan in the next 60 seconds. The woman with the allergy was demanding someone call an ambulance, just in case. 2 guests had already bolted through the side gate barefoot, and Linda was finally starting to look like she might understand the mess she created. But the real tipping point, Momo, my queen of the skunks, she gave one final warning stomp, and then let loose. A thick, invisible wall of that unmistakable skunk spray rolled across the yard. People screamed, not just gasped. Screamed, towels dropped, chairs flipped. Someone even fell into the kiddie pool they'd brought for foot soaks. I stood there, arms crossed, watching the chaos unfold like some kind of slow-motion reality show finale. It was gross, it was messy, but it was also the most effective boundary-setting nature could have offered. Linda finally snapped out of her shock and started yelling about how this was completely inappropriate. Like I was the one who'd crashed her party. I told her again, calmly, clearly, that this was my property. That she'd trespassed, disrespected my space, and put people in danger. That she had every warning and chose to ignore them. But just when I thought the drama had peaked, one of the neighbors who'd been watching from their balcony the whole time shouted, "You know this is all on camera, right?" Turns out, they had a clear view and a full recording of everything: the setup, the trespassing, the ignored warnings, and the moment chaos exploded. That video? Let's just say it made its way to the HOA board, and the Entitled People Reddit thread where this story really took off. In the days that followed, Linda's little spa party became the talk of the entire neighborhood. The footage, with all the chaos and skunk drama, was shared everywhere, somehow even making its way to local news. Linda tried to play it off, saying she didn't realize how much of a disruption it would be, but the HOA board wasn't having it. They issued a formal apology to me, and let's just say they've been extra careful around my property ever since. As for me, I got a bit of a reputation as the skunk whisperer of the neighborhood, but honestly, I didn't mind. People started respecting my boundaries a little more, and I even had a few neighbors reach out to learn about the rescue work I do with wildlife. No one was quite as eager to invade my space after that, especially when they remembered how fast things can go sideways when you don't respect someone's privacy. And Linda, well, she's still the HOA president, but now she makes a point to knock before making any improvements around my garden.